thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just so happen to absolutely love this video, please consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. Okay, I'm very excited. I recently rearranged my living room. A lot of you may know it was kind of a dreaded corner for me over here. I previously had some shelves. I don't know, I didn't really like what was happening in here. I have basically no windows, so it's super dark. I kind of made some changes, some of which you can see here, to open up the space. Why am I telling you all of that? That led to a massive purge. I'm gonna go over the plants that I am purging today. Some are emotional, some not so much, but I am, at the end of the day, really excited to minimize my collection. Once again, I think we've all been slowly going through more and more purges. This is just another one that I am doing. How I selected these plants was honestly quite simple, and I recommend it for if you struggle to get rid of plants. One, I was gone for about a month. So when I returned, and I travel like to New York quite a bit. So when I came back, I took note of the plants that did okay with me gone for so long, and the ones that really struggled, I thought maybe they would do better with someone else. Some of them just like outright died, but the ones that struggled, I'm like, okay, you know what, they might do better with someone who is home a bit more. Now I have a much better idea of the plants that are a little bit more flexible to my life. So that was one kind of cut elimination from my collection. And then the other thing that really helped is I took all the plants out of my living room, and then I just decorated from that selection with my reorganized living room. And whatever plants didn't fit, I kind of just took a good hard look at and let a lot of them go. I have 4 plants from that second elimination that I pulled and want to keep, but the rest also got put into the purge bucket. That is a little quick tip for anyone struggling to purge plants. I think purging plants is perfectly normal and acceptable. You are not a bad plant parent if you do that. In fact, some of your plants may be happier with someone else. So those are my tips, my quick tips and tricks. Now we're gonna jump into some of the plants I'm getting rid of. You may be surprised by a few, I'm not even gonna lie, but let's jump into it. I have them all right here. Okay, I'm gonna move through these kind of quickly because I realize I have 12 plants to get through. So up first is my string of pearls. This one, I won't even lie, I'm still kind of on the fence about. I'm not sure if this will be a purge plant, but where I had her before was kind of out of the way and I would forget to water her, and these plants do like to be watered pretty regularly, not too much, but regularly. And you can see it was on a shelf, so I did get some balding here. A lot of the balls started falling off. I really love this plant a lot. This is one that I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with yet, but it is in the purge bucket for now, unless I do find a space for her. So that is plant number 1. And these are easy care, I'm just annoying. Next, this shouldn't surprise anyone. I'm getting rid of the aloe. I tried with her, and you know what? It was my best effort yet with an aloe. I've killed quite a few in my time. It doesn't fit anywhere naturally in my house, and I neglect it. And I want her to have a better home where she doesn't get so much of these little crispy leaves at the bottom there. They also don't need a lot of water, but do appreciate some consistent attention. They do like a lot of light. It's just not a match. It's just not a match for me. Similar to that is also just this baby succulent. It is very cute as a button, but it's just one of those plants that I do not need right now. It is another plant to look after and watch and water. I would love to put her in a windowsill with some more top-down light, but that's just not happening. I am starting to get some exfoliation, and again, just happier with someone else, and that's fine. I can part with this one. Okay. Next, we have our first dead plant of the day. This was, shoot. I always get her switched up with the wrong one. So I'll put the name at the bottom of the screen as with the other ones, but this is a bulbous plant and I never got there. She was placed in this little pot like so, and to be quite honest with you, I just never had a good run with her. It didn't root well with me, couldn't get the care just right, and I didn't have the time to really rehab her. So she's a goner. There is nothing to do with her. She's gonna get probably thrown out. It's all shriveled. This looks very different than from when I first got her. She is shriveled up and just unwell. So this next plant is one that is doing okay. It is truly just one of those that didn't fit anywhere. I think it's time to let her go. That is my lemon lime philodendron. I have a neon pothos and they are different plants and they do have a little bit of different care, but I am content with just having the neon pothos over there, and I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. I do actually prefer this plant care-wise over the neon pothos. I think this one is a little bit more flexible with me, but I liked the sizing of my 4-inch neon pothos a bit more for the placement. So this plant I will definitely rehome. I'm not gonna trash her, don't worry. It's one of those plants where like I genuinely love it. I think it's a gorgeous color. It's very fun. It does fit with my lifestyle well, but it just doesn't fit anywhere. Did not fit anywhere, and I'm not gonna force it anymore. I've been forcing plants to fit in my apartment for so long. I just don't want to do it anymore. So goodbye. Mwah. We love her, but just, you know, goodbye. Okay, another dead plant that didn't like me being gone for a month, and this doesn't surprise me. It is this asparagus fern. I had my sister come visit me and she fell in love with this as it is. And she was like, oh my God, you're gonna get rid of it? Can I have it? And I was like, girl, it's like dead. And she thought that this was the actual color of the plant, which is very sweet. I wish it wasn't dead, but it is. It's kind of my bad. I put her in a primarily western facing window and she's in this tiny pot and they like consistent moisture. And it just dried up under that harsh sun, and there's like the tiniest bit of green under her little canopy kind of, but I just don't see her coming back. So this might be a trash plant. Sorry. Okay, this is one that might surprise some people, and I did have some back and forth on this selection, but I am comfortable with my decision. And I'm going to maybe sell this Philodendron Melanochrysum. It's twofold why this is a hard one for me. One, I got this plant when she was like just 2 tiny little leaves in some leca. With my love and care and her effort, she has grown into a 4-inch pot. She's doing well, but I don't know, there's just something not clicking with me and her. I think I also just feel bad getting rid of her, not getting rid of, but rehoming her, because it used to be more of a sought after plant, harder to get. Now they're a little bit more accessible, but at the end of the day, a lot of people really do want this plant. I was really lucky that my friend gave me a cutting. That's another reason why I wouldn't want to get rid of it. I hate getting rid of plants that people have given me. Like I said, something's just not clicking. I don't know what it is, but I'm not like over the moon excited to take care of her, and those are the kinds of plants I want in my collection at this point. I think that she would be happier with someone else, and also I think someone else might appreciate her a bit more. With a heavy heart, this one is a harder one. I will be passing her along to someone else most likely. I'm like 98% sold on that. Next, this isn't anything crazy. I have this Monstera cutting. She's getting a little bit bigger now. She was a bit smaller when I first got her. I just have a ton of Monstera. I don't need to babysit anymore. And again, I just think someone would fall in love with, like, she's very endearing, this little 2-leaf cutting happening here. I do think that I'll be able to find her a good home. She's healthy, she's happy, but I have 2 Monstera deliciosa. I just don't need there's no need for me to really have a third one for my own preferences. So this, you know, nothing too wild here. I just have too many of them, and I'm fine to send this one off into the world. And we're back with another dead one. Didn't make it through the month. That is my Philodendron Imperial Red. This one hurts. This one hurts quite a bit. I bought this plant years ago. I've had this plant for a really long time. She got really bad root rot within the first month of me having her. From a few tiny little cuttings, I rescued her, I rooted her up, and it's hard to tell now, but she did grow into a much fuller, happier plant. I was able to enjoy her presence for a few more years. However, between her placement, her needs, and my life, unfortunately, she died, and I wasn't even really noticing how unhappy she was, so I'm trying to avoid that with some of the other plants I'm getting rid of. I will miss her a whole bunch. You can't win them all. This plant really does have a special place in my heart, but clearly there's nothing. It's like dead. It's dead. So love her, thank you for your time. Okay, this one might be one of the surprising ones actually. It's my Philodendron Cursiva. This one hurts too. I'm not thrilled to be passing her on to someone else. I've talked very lovingly about this plant because I think she is beautiful. The leaf size alone is just amazing. This is a really, really nice plant. It's again just not fitting anywhere, and I'd rather give her to someone where it works for them and they can really, you know, place her somewhere nice, take good care of her. I will not be getting rid of this pot. Someone made it for me and it has my initials at the bottom, which is the sweetest thing in the world. It's a beautiful pot. There's no need for me to be talking about it, but it's just beautiful, so I will. I will repot her into probably a nursery pot and hand her off to someone else. When you purge plants, you might surprise yourself at what plants you're willing to part with, and I am shocked that I'm okay to kind of pass her on. Hopefully I can get her to stay within the friend group, like my friend group, so I can check on her. Other than that, yeah, we have reached our end. I love my plants, I really do. I'm gonna try to find good homes for them. Okay, sorry, the lighting in here. This one, oh, my black goldfish plant. She was doing so well until I left for a month, and she is not dead. I'll definitely label this as like a rehab plant before giving it away to someone. I would not sell this plant. I would just give it away. I think that there is totally a comeback to be had here, but I just don't think it's gonna be with me. Another plant I really love, it's been in a lot of my like favorites lists. They're very easy care. They are gorgeous, they flower all the time. It's truly a great plant to have in your collection. I just kind of find like this growth pattern a bit difficult to find placement for in my home. You know, I can always, you know, try again some other time, but for now I think it's time to say goodbye. And I'm sad about this one. I've also had this one for a long time, and she's grown from like a few little tiny cuttings. Like I remember all my plants, what they look like when I first got them, and she has grown so much. I just feel horrible that we are having a bit of technical difficulties with her right now, but I'm sure in the right care, she will bounce back and be much happier. Okay, everyone. The last plant is probably the most shocking plant if you watch my videos. I didn't even see this one coming, but here we are. I'm getting rid of my Syngonium elbow. And I will say, disclaimer, I'm totally taking a little, maybe 2-leaf cutting from her before I give her away. I'm running into the same issue that I've been talking about for, you know, almost a year. Syngonium do not like this apartment. Like, I don't know what it is with that genus. I have taken the same, like, care of this plant. And the minute I moved in, well, my last apartment, they started to struggle. I don't think they liked that move. And in here, it's just no good. So I'm gonna take like a baby little cutting so I still have a piece of this plant, because this is one of my favorite plants, like period, just to even look at, not even to necessarily own, but I do want a piece of her. So I will take a cutting, but this grew into a big plant, and I don't have the space for it. I'm also kind of shying away from moss poles like this. They are perfect for your plant if you are 100% focused on making your plants happy. These poles, I still completely recommend them. They work wonders. They really promote vertical, healthy, happy, big growth. Don't let me saying this make you think that moss poles, especially of this kind, are bad, because they're wonderful. Visually, I'm just kind of like over it for now, and I think I want to move into the driftwood world when I start putting poles in my plants again. I really like the look of trellises, so I think part of my collection too is getting rid of plants that are so dependent on moss poles. So that is another loss for today. I did lose some leaves while I was gone, but whatever. And there we go. Those are all of the plants that I plan on purging. I seem okay with it because I've already kind of known that this was coming for some time, and I had my eye on a few that I thought I would want to give away, but yeah, it does hurt always to get rid of a plant once you've had it for a long time. There is like an emotional connection and bond that forms between you and your plant when you've been nurturing it for years. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with changing up your collection to make it work for you, and that's all I'm doing today. I want to make my home something that feels good to me, and I want my plant care routine to feel good to me. That is basically why I am doing this. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please let me know if you've done any purges lately or if you're thinking about it. I think it's super common right now, especially to make space for springtime, because a lot of us can't help it. We're probably gonna buy something in the springtime. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!